but I do think you'll see a different Facile Vega here to the one that you'll take.
Look at the love for Ile-Temps. Look, Graham's gone for Marine Nationale then.
I'm all
You're not
over
worried about the rain. I must admit, I
Marine
looked at his
Nationale.
pedigree, I looked at he has won on soft ground.
I'm not a ground punter. I genuinely believe that he's one of the most overplayed factors in racing, and I often think that
is the soft ground.
we've had this discussion many times, but I genuinely
Mission
think
Control
that
keep
ground
going
won't be
on to
that
tell
bad.
me they're on Ile-Temps as well. Yes, we know you're out there. They can see it on the screen, for God's sake.
Just one more word on the other one that Danny mentioned is in the pocket, who beat 3-car Bragg over 2.5. If this is a test, and stayers win the Supreme. I know this sounds silly, but if you look at it, often speedy horses actually win the Ballymore, and the horses who end up being stayers win the Supreme.
We've got a horse that nearly won a Tattersalls Gold Cup on the flat in high definition, one-time Derby favourite. We've got Diverge, who was, a lot of punters suggesting he might be a dark one. Dark Raven, who comes here, who beat Dr. Bravo.
He's been smashed up, 22 into 11.
Who Dark Raven has.
He's
also
the
really
player.
like. I just wonder whether he's running in the right race.
But he beat Dr. Bravo comfortably. He did an RPR, first time out over hurdles, fresh off a bumper of 134, and then he finished third. And he couldn't jump at Leopardstown last time out. But he went from bumper to maiden hurdle to grade 1
He missed a year, didn't he?
Yeah, and
it was my horse to follow, and then he missed a year.
There we go, Dave. They're coming in.
All right, come on then. Let's get our own Raw going up, shall we? Like everyone does. Good luck to you, whichever way you play. It is the opening race of the day. It is the Supreme Novice Hurdle. I'm going to throw to Danny Archer, who's then going to throw to Ross Briley for the call as well. We'll come to Graham and me to give you thoughts in the run. Wherever you play, looks at high definition. Wants to get on with it, Danny Archer.
Undecided orders then for the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. Supreme Novices Hurdle gets us underway. Grade 1 contest, 14 runners going to post. And your favourite is There we go. And away they go for the opener. Prominent early, rare edition, quite keen, along with Chasing Fire. And in the middle is High Definition, Fraid O'Brien as they come to the first. All over safely. Slight mistake from Facile Vega, who shuffled back. Still at the moment, Chasing Fire, High Definition, and Rare Edition. Also prominent towards the outside is Dark Raven. Then in between these is Strong Leader, Dr. Bravo, then a gap back to Tar Morris, Marine Nationale, Facile Vega, and at the back of the field is Ile-Temps, Diverge, and also Fenner Cross. At the back of the field, Palace Boy.
How are we settling Ross Briley on Ile-Temps?
He looks to be settled okay. Marine Nationale's a little bit fresh, I think, but he hasn't been on track for a while, so that's probably got something to do with that. They're not going a mad gallop. We're not going an insane pace. They are a little bit faster than I think you'd want to be. If you're around the 30 mile an hour mark, you're absolutely laughing in front. So it's a bit stop-start at the moment.
Yeah. They're letting him have his own way almost. Now Rare Edition's going on with it, G-Rod. I'm looking at Marine Nationale, G. If I said one horse I wasn't happy with how he settled, it might be him.
Yeah, he's got his head in the air a little bit, and he's maybe not settled as you would hope for Marine Nationale.
Oh, look at that crowd, lads. Oh, my
really
God,
big
lads
crowd.
and lasses. That is outstanding, isn't it? In the sunshine, they're passing the stands. Wow.
So again, they've slowed it down, which is not necessarily great for stayers like in our pocket or Ile-Temps who want them to go a mad gallop. High Definition, bearing in mind that, again, he's another one who did a fantastic figure in his maiden hurdle, and he is a Group 1 class stayer. Tamoris, for me, is in the absolute pitch-perfect position right now.
This looks like such a classy field on looks, doesn't it? I mean, you've got Chasing Fire, you've got Strong Leader, 2 horses I absolutely love, G. Not on form, you can't have them, but they're unbeaten as well.
Yeah, Rare Edition obviously was very good at Kempton, wasn't he? Ran a good time that day. It's a really classy field, isn't it? I think they have quickened it up, obviously coming down the hill as they go out on the back straight. They're all going well, aren't they, Dave?
What are we making of the ground, chaps? Just a visceral look for everyone at first. It looks fine, doesn't it? I mean, it was sort of like, is there any good to soft there, or is this what we want? Winter ground.
It's hard to tell, isn't it? But they're not kicking loads up, and everything seems to be jumping out a bit all right. Marine Nationale not too great there. The outside with a lot.
Palace Boy.
Yeah, he's not enjoying it, nor is Fenner Cross. Strong Leader's in a nice posse. I had him down as a proper Aintree horse. I think he's the best of the Murphy pair. I think he'll beat Chasing Fire.
I agree with that. He's a very green horse, isn't he? And Chasing Fire's good. Again, really sexy field. This Danny Archer picking up for where's Facile?
I'm a bit nervous. This could get messy for Ile-Temps, who made a mistake there and has got to come through in the pocket. Marine Nationale.
Morris is travelling, isn't he?
They're not going quickly here. This is the problem. No. They are dawdling out in front. We've seen Champagne Fever, Classical Dream. We've seen horses make all in Supremes. And
Facile still remains favourite, guys.
They're travelling, isn't he? Facile Vega going well. They're all going well though, Dave.
High Definition then still in the lead with Rare Edition. Dr. Bravo on the outside along with Chasing Fire. Ile-Temps looks keen and has started to come through along with Facile Vega.
They're really
Morris,
ramping
Marine
now.
Nationale, they're all in contention.
They're trapping.
High Definition out in front.
Here we go. Who's going to jump it?
That's the third
Again,
last.
LA Tom, not great there. Marine National catching the eye. All the big players coming to the fore. Tamuras now, he's the stayer in the pack. He's just about to start to get a bit tough, isn't he?
Chasing
Facile
far in front,
cruising.
Facile Vega absolutely cruising. Dr. Bravo on the outside,
Dark Raven
along
as
with
well.
Dark Raven. Marine National trying to creep into it. Facile Vega takes over there, and the favourite is in front. Ilete Tomp under pressure. Marine National, the one who's tanking into it, but Facile Vega, the favourite, leads as they turn in. Dark
Marine
Raven in
National's the
second.
danger, guys.
Marine National hasn't come off the bridle yet, but are we in clover here, favourite backers? Facile Vega leads as they come to the last.
It's a 1,
Marine
2, 3 for
National, Diverge also staying on. Marine
I
National
think
tries
he's
to
gonna
serve
get
it
him.
up to
I think he's
Facile
gonna get
Vega.
him.
The Irish strong points coming to it. Facile Vega, Marine National.
He's
They're over.
overwhelmed.
Facile
He's
Vega
gonna get
stops it.
him.
And Marine National firing up the hill. Keeping on Diverge in third as well. But Marine National, they said he was good. He lives up to his billing. Marine National wins the Supreme Novices Hurdle for Connell.
Absolutely unbelievable scenes here. A race that has delivered for you on our Racing Post Live. Oh, Mikey O'Sullivan, my lord, what a cool customer he was. He fluffed the last in the Royal Bond. We'd not seen him since. He remains unbeaten. You held your breath, you backers out there, coming to that last race. Ross Briley, what sort of form are we making of that? All the big players were there.
It looked a good race before. It played out like a good race. They went a reasonable gallop early on, but they really quickened. And you could see the front runners completely dropped out the back of the telly. But Marine National, last 8 Royal Bond winners to come here have been beaten. He breaks that. And what a week it could be for the team with Goodland tomorrow as well. But he was keen early on, but of course he absolutely loved the pace collapse last time out, and we knew he was going to be strong at the finish. Facile Vega has run an absolute blinder, given that
There he is, look.
he made 2 at least terrible mistakes. But Marine National, it's just the one thing I think we underestimate in racing time and time again, which sounds ridiculous, is horses who win races. They didn't win by far, or it wasn't a very good race, or the pace collapse. But if you can find a way to win, that is the key to being a top-class racehorse. And this horse keeps doing it. So absolutely fair play to him. I think this race will work out gangbusters. I think all the right horses in the right place. And yeah, it was a cracker.
2 points. They Diverge is on a screamer. He's the one I'm taking out of it. He
Spot
stayed
the
on
British
so
horse, by
strongly.
the way, guys.
You were
Jeez.
right about the Bromhead horse, though. I think he got outpaced, and he just kept going. I think the Ballymore might have suited him.
But the thing I'd say about Barry Connell, though, he had big cojones. He said, this horse, he will win. He was so bullish. And to be fair to him, not many people do that. And actually, he's lived up to it. So fair play to him. I've got a lot of respect for a trainer coming out and saying
Hugh
that.
Masson opens up the social corner. Danny Archie, you were saying about Diverge there, one of the first 8 home. My Lord, Tamuras went out like a light there. Paul Nicholls will be thinking, not again, please. Listen, 1 race down, the Irish Phil, the first 8 places, and it looked like we had a really strong home challenge there as well. Barry Connell now playing it cool, the former market trader, turning his hand, doesn't he? He used to ride bumper horses, of course, in his colours, and he's had some real worldies over the year, and
The jockey as well. First year,
big
Royal
move.
Bond winner, good land.
A lot been said about O'Connell and his jockeys and all that sort of thing. And you were grumpy coming in. That's all changed,
Cheered
isn't
up
it?
now.
Yeah, well, I love backing the winner of the Supreme. It just gets the week off to a flyer, doesn't it? What a result! And so happy with that victory. So happy that it wasn't Willie Mullins, that it wasn't Nicky Henderson, that it wasn't Henry de Bromhead, that it wasn't Gordon Elliott. It was Barry Connell. One of the real stars over the years.
There's a lot of love for the jockey in the chat, guys. We're going to build your chat in a second.
Used to ride, own loads of horses, puts lots of money into the game, lots of time into the game, taken on the training reins. He's been so good this year, Barry Connell. He's got a 25% strike rate with all his runners this year. I had no doubts that he could get it done. And fair play, I think, was it Danny said that he bigged this horse up big time.
He said, well, I've got the best horse in both the races. You've got Goodland running in the opener tomorrow as well.
He said that he thought this horse would be a Group 1 class horse on the flat in the run-up to this race. And
he's
he
by
looks
French
good.
Navy, who, of course, was, O'Brien on the flat, wasn't he? And I looked at his pedigree because a lot of people had the ticket. He went anti-post favourite at one point when Fasol flopped so badly in his last run at the DRF, and then he's been weak because the heavens have opened. He had only run once on soft ground, and it was a win. But all his top form has been on top of the ground, if you like, and you wondered why the break. Now, this is also another stat that's bust.
Yeah.
Well, stat schmatz, a lot of you will be saying, trends, out the window and all that.
The thing is with trends and stats is, if you've got one that is kind of against one horse, then fair enough. If you've got a trend against the first 5 in the betting, it all cancels each other out.
Ran within the last 66 days, 9 of the last 10, and I think the one above that was 80 odd. So he's shown that training methods are different now.
Still 9 in the last 11, though.
Yeah, well, there you are.
I
absolutely.
often think that this sort of thing comes actually down to the individual horse. Some horses are better off a break, and some horses are better off quick runs.
The obvious example being Classical Dream in the Stayers, right? He's just mad best fresh, isn't he?
Well, and there's one I fancy in the Coral Cup, Good Risk at All, whose record after a break is first, second, first, second.
Oh, you love these. You love these ones.
Well, but it's about finding that profile, isn't it? And it's
Who
like
was the horse?
Benny's King.
It's a skeleton horse.
Benny's King
was
well,
your
his record on his second run was phenomenal. And his
Ross
first
never
was
stopped
awful.
going on about this, by the way. It was borne out. Don't back him first time, it's second time.
We can talk about this actually with regards to the next race, but Marine Nationale's last win in the Royal Bond was off a 50-day break. So the horses obviously just were good fresh, and Barry Connell knew it, and he got the horse there absolutely bang on fresh, and he did the business.